Hello everyone, my name is Shireen and our topic today is the domain name system. DNS is made up by two components, the domain name that is usually known by the general public and the unique string of numbers we refer to as the Internet Protocol Number. UDRP stands for the Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy, and it is used to resolve disputes between a domain name registrant and a third party. To force the transfer or cancellation of a domain name under the UDRP, the trademark holder must prove all three of the required elements stated in 4A. Today, I would like to focus on the second element, the rights or legitimate interest test. To successfully demonstrate the registrant's right or legitimate interest to the domain name, three circumstances need to be established on the evidence presented to the administrative panel. The three circumstances include a bona fide offering of goods and service, commonly known by the domain name, and non-commercial or fair use of the domain name. To prove the use or preparations to use in connection with the bona fide offering of goods and services, a registrant needs only show demonstrable preparations to market the goods and services in question. However, so far, there has been no consistent interpretation of exactly what constitutes demonstrable preparation. E-Auto and Triple S Auto Parts is a case in favor of the respondent. For 10 years, the respondent has operated a business of selling automobile lamps, and when the business was expanded, the respondent selected the descriptive domain name eautolamps.com. The panel held that the letter E is to be publicly understood as electronic or internet-based. Therefore, e-auto lamps is an example of internet-based description of a generic product. To prove an individual, business, or other organization that has been commonly known by the domain name, a second source of legitimate interest involves indications that the registrant has been commonly known by the domain name, even if it had acquired no trademark rights. AVNet, an aviation network, is another case in favor of the respondent. The panel was satisfied with the respondent's evidence, showing that the respondent was commonly known by avnet.net domain name, and was known by the name AVNet for at least 10 years prior to its domain name registration. Lastly, to prove the third branch of the legitimate interest defense, the respondent must establish that the use is legitimate, non-commercial, or fair use of the domain names, the use is without intent for commercial gain, the use is without intent to misleadingly divert consumers, and the use is without the intent to tarnish the trademark or service market issue. In Western Hay Company and Carl Forrester, the respondent submitted evidence that shows he had operated a non-commercial, web-based discussion group, and the panel accepted the evidence, which is sufficient to consider as a non-commercial use defense. To conclude, the trademark holder is required to prove three elements stated in 4A of the UDRP in order to cancel a domain name, and today we focus on the second element, the rights and legitimate interest test. We also discussed the three circumstances required for the rights and legitimate interest test. This is the end of my video. Thank you for listening.